Hello, everybody.
Welcome back.
Happy holidays.
3 weeks.
From us at Heard About It.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
It's
Happy
like the
Hanukkah.
Christmas special
Oh yeah.
here at Heard About It. Thank you. We know it's been a while, but we're back. We're ready to record a new
Finally
episode. Jason's not here with us, unfortunately. It's weird not seeing him across from me right now. But we're going to have a little bit of a different episode. A lot happened in between these 3 weeks.
The Game Awards.
Game Awards happened.
thing.
The day before that whole debacle happened.
What else?
Alex Hirsch announced a new thing for Gravity Falls we're going to talk
Which is
about.
pretty interesting.
We're very excited about. We're huge
Yes.
Gravity Falls fans here.
Oh, yeah.
But we wanted to kick this off. It is Christmas. Oh, before we do, though, announcement that we have made, but we might as well just say it.
So, well, first off, sorry about the no Game Awards stream. We couldn't
Yes.
do that. That was just something that
there was
just
some timing.
didn't
We
work
weren't
out.
able to do it.
But to make it up to you, we have a Lethal Company stream tomorrow. If you're watching the day this come out, it's coming out tomorrow at
Yes.
7 p.m. Central. So Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central.
7 p.m.
And there's
I thought it was
announcements.
6:30 Central.
Is it 6:30?
6:30 Central. And we have an
sure?
official post. Check our
Oh, it is
community
6:30.
post. But we're pretty sure it's
on
6:30
Twitter, it's
Central.
on
What's it?
Instagram.
It's everywhere where you can find us. But no,
Heard
it's going to
about,
be
what is it? Twitch.tv /
Twitch,
heard about it. Heard underscore about
underscore it underscore live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on our Twitch channel. Heard About It live. It's gonna be us two. It's gonna be our good friend Kieran, and it's gonna be Chris Belicious will be joining us. It'll be my first time playing Lethal Company.
Me too. I've seen a lot of clips of it, so I
I'm
kind of
going
know the
in
premise.
relatively blind. I haven't seen
Kieran's-
extended gameplay, but
Kieran's only seen. Y'all know Kieran. He's been on the
Kieran has
podcast
been
before.
on one episode.
Two.
Two?
Yeah,
He's been on two.
two.
By then. He lose track.
He was our audio producer when Jason couldn't make it.
Yes.
And he's seen one clip that I showed him. I'm pretty sure that's it. And then Chris Belicious has actually played.
He's
the game.
played it. He's a huge fan. So it's very exciting. I know. I'm like partly scared, but I've been playing so much Alan Wake 2. I think I'm ready for a horror experience. Like I feel like I've been whipped into shape by that game. Anyway, since it is the holidays, we're gonna get started. We thought it'd be fun if we both shared our 3 favorite Christmas movies and talk about our favorite Christmas movies. To kick this off. So Jackson, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go ahead. I'm
All right.
still thinking of my
You're still
third.
thinking. So these aren't in an order, but I have 3 definitely. So I think first I got to say Elf, which I know is basic, but Elf is so good. We watched it last night with my family, and it's just one of those movies that really benefits from Will Ferrell's performance. Like, just he sells it all the way. He's one of those actors that like will always commit no matter what's happening, and he just commits. And Jon Favreau's direction, like kind of making it feel like the classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, is really good. It's just like a really good movie. And then second, hate to stir up some controversy on this channel, but my second favorite, I have to say Die Hard. This is Heard About Its official stance on Die Hard.
is a Christmas
It is a
movie.
Christmas movie.
100%.
It is 100%. And there's no getting around that. That is the official statement. And we don't care what controversy that brings. Die Hard is a fantastic Christmas holiday action movie.
Yes.
It's great action, great one-liners, and like there's so much Christmas in it. Like
There is,
I mean, there's so many. Like they're at a Christmas party. There's the great line, "It is Christmas. It is the season of miracles." So many great lines in that film. It's for sure a Christmas movie. And then my third is actually A Christmas Story. It's probably my favorite.
Not a
Christmas
huge
movie
fan
of
of
all
that
time.
one.
I just like it. I think there's a lot of good gags, and I think
It's-
it's very nostalgic for me.
Yeah. No. I didn't watch it until I was older, so.
Yeah. But the pole, the bully, and then also I watched the sequel they did last year, and it actually wasn't that bad of a sequel. I was surprised. It wasn't a terrible movie.
There was a sequel?
Yeah, it's about Ralphie as an adult, called Christmas Story Christmas, and it's pretty good.
Oh, another thing we forgot to mention, if you're a visual listener, I don't know how to say that, person who watches the show, there we go, you'll notice there's a mat on the table
Oh
now.
yeah, forgot we
That's
added that.
new.
Yeah, this is
from LTT Store. Thank you, Linus. He sent it. No, I'm kidding. He doesn't
we are
know
not
who
sponsored
we are,
by Linus. Yeah,
but
we don't.
very, very good. I can't even call it a mouse pad anymore. It's just
Yeah.
a desk mat.
And what's the big thing? Like it was the same.
Same price for all the different sizes.
Which I think
This
is
like the
incredible.
biggest one.
That's an amazing product that they could make it like you just buy any size you want. It's like
And
McDonald's with their drinks.
Theoretically, the studio should sound a little better, especially if you have an ear for audio. But it should sound relatively similar.
Oh, because it's.
Yeah, because it's instead of bouncing off
Yeah.
the table, it's being absorbed.
I didn't think about that.
But yeah,
Great.
and now we can play live streams, which the Lethal Company live stream won't be streamed from this room because it's an
Yes.
online game. It's gonna be
I will be in my house. Everyone
Yeah.
will be separated, but you will hear me. I may record. Chris Belicious may record his parts. I may
try
record
to
my
get Kieran
parts.
to do that as well.
So
Yeah. Anyways,
Exciting
three
stuff. Yes.
best Christmas movies for
Yes.
me.
You go.
I gotta say, number one, Polar Express.
Polar Express,
Love that
it's great.
movie. It's so cool. I think the motion capture is actually really cool.
yes, it's a cool movie.
And
it's a really
then
good movie.
following up to that, I gotta say, Christmas Carol from Disney, Jim Carrey.
The Jim Carrey Christmas Carol, also another
good.
motion capture.
Yeah, also motion capture.
Same
Same.
director, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good as well. For the third one, man, I don't know. Probably Elf.
Elf. You pick Elf.
Elf,
It's
yeah.
just so funny. I mean,
I gotta tell you, since my sister has already done this.
we can bleep that out.
It's fine. It doesn't really matter. I don't think she cares. My sister, she was messing with Walker the other day, and she was saying, Elf is the worst movie of all time. My dad has been telling me to do this on the podcast with Jason. Since she's already done it, I can't do it to you because
Yeah.
you'll know the bit already. But he was like, get Jason and you
To
to
both
just
agree that
start
it's a
saying Elf
terrible
and come up
movie.
with these like horrible reasons as to why, just to make
And
you
just
really
make
mad.
me freak
Which
out.
would have been really funny, but as my sister, she's already done the bit, so it would have fallen through.
You know what Christmas movie I haven't seen? There's some Christmas movies actually I haven't seen yet that I really want to this year, which is Spirited, with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
Never seen it. Oh,
It's
that
like the modern Christmas Carol. That's
yeah,
a
that was
musical.
the Apple TV one.
Apple TV.
Yeah.
And then I've never seen Adam Sandler's Eight Crazy Nights, which is his animated Hanukkah comedy that's PG-13.
Oh.
It's like, I think have you seen the Bum Beady Beady Bum
Oh yeah.
meme? It's
Yeah.
that. So I really want to watch that movie for the first time. Are you watching any new Christmas movies? No?
I don't think so.
No? Just watching all the old ones?
Just my family watches Polar Express each year on Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's nice. I try to watch Christmas Story on Christmas Eve, so that's my big thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, comment.
Oh.
What's your favorite Christmas movies?
Audio listeners, since you can't see it, there's also lights, like Christmas lights.
Well,
in the
we don't have to
background.
tell them. Now
Oh,
they
might as
feel
well.
left out.
Well,
They could have just gone on not
they
knowing.
they know when they listen they were left out. You know,
Okay.
that's like a thing they sign
Anyway,
up for.
if you're on YouTube, why don't you
Or
go ahead and,
Spotify video.
or
that's a
Spotify
thing.
video? Why don't you go ahead and comment down and tell us what your favorite Christmas movie is? What y'all like to watch
What?
during the holidays? Is Die Hard a Christmas
Oh.
movie? Yes or no? We should
And
put a
if
poll.
you're on Apple Podcast, you could leave a review saying what your favorite Christmas movies
preferably with 5 stars
are. Or 3.
or 3 or
Not
4.
not 4, not 2, not 1, 3 or 5 only.
Really?
And not.
Why? It's like, okay. Anyway, we thought that'd be a fun way to start it because we aren't doing any games.
No
So we
games
thought we'd
today.
do something fun, talk about our
Because
movies.
Jason's
But
not here.
our first big headline, which I have here since Jason's not here, Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls, is releasing a new Gravity Falls book from Bill
Yeah.
Cipher's perspective that's for an older audience. Should other properties follow suit and mature with their audiences? So the new book, it's called Book of Bill, comes out next July, and it's basically going to be like, it looks kind of like the journal. There's going to be
Okay.
pictures and stuff and different entries, but it's all written by Bill.
So this could be good. I hope he doesn't try to let us sympathize with the villain.
Yes.
Especially as Bill just being like just this evil
No.
person, you know?
Yes.
It's like
Bill is like a pure. I think that's one of the beneficial, like one of the things that's so great about Gravity Falls is Bill Cipher, the villain, is just such a purely evil
Mm-hmm.
villain, and so yeah, because he has said it's going to be about his origin. It's going to be about some Pines family secrets that we don't know about.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a Bill Cipher tells all book in the Gravity Falls universe. But I do think, though, with the older audience, because Bill Cipher, even in the context of the show, was already a much darker character.
oh yeah.
And so I think he realized if I really want to give people a Bill-centered story, it has to be darker and more mature. I think he just understood that. So I'm glad Disney is letting him do this. I was honestly surprised.
Does Disney own the rights to Gravity Falls?
Yeah, this is a Disney book. Like Disney is
Wow.
publishing this book, and they're saying it's like
That's surprising.
17 up, I think, or 15 to 17 up. It's like 4 teenagers.
Wow.
But I feel like that's a good decision.
Especially with the audience, it's like
Yeah, because
they're older. Yeah.
I guess I was like 12.
Yeah.
Or no, I think much younger than that. I think I was very young when the show first aired and loved it. And, I still love it. And now I'm, 19. Care about my age? Anyway, yeah.
Wait,
I'm 19. I don't need to dox that. Nah. Age doesn't dox me.
Yeah, no,
It doesn't. I'm 19. I feel like it'd be cool to,
Are you 19?
Yeah. You didn't know this?
I thought you were 18.
No, I'm a year older than you. We talked about this.
I'm not 18.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's right. I get to. Well,
I think you're 18, Walker.
no, I'm 19.
Are you sure?
Okay, he's gaslighting me, and we're gonna go
No,
on.
are you sure?
Yes.
You were born in 2005, right?
Yes, April 22nd.
You should be 18.
I'm 19. Wait, no, I'm not. Why did I think I was 19? No, wait, hold on.
You're 18.
No.
2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 18.
No, but I.
No, you're
Am
18.
I going crazy?
You're going. What did you do this morning? My goodness.
I don't know where I got that. I'm gonna be 19 at a certain point. What the heck?
In 4 months.
I don't know how that happened in my brain.
That's why I was so confused. I'm like, aren't you 18?
I don't know. Yeah, because you're 17.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did I think I skipped a year? That's weird. Okay. Whatever. That was bad.
Walker forgets his own age. It happens to all of us.
Hold on.
You're okay.
No, I gotta think about this.
You're 18.
No. It's been 2 years since my 18th
This
birthday.
goes down in the history of Taika Waititi.
Taki Wada Wadi. I gotta figure this out. Okay.
It's not that complicated. You're 18.
No.
Do you just believe you're 19?
What? I'm so confused right now. I thought I must be going crazy.
How long did you think you were 19?
I thought I turned for some reason in my brain. I was like, I just because I'm so used to saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be 19" at the end of like this year, and then I'm like, I'm so used to saying that. I just think I caught up with me. This is gonna be very embarrassing when this.
Oh, it's gonna be.
I'm 18, so
Your group chat is gonna go.
I'm an
insane.
adult. So that means that Gravity Falls has aged with me.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that's aged with. But I think Adventure Time, they've been doing a little bit of that. Here, we're back to the main subject.
I know.
Avatar, I think, is doing a little bit of that. They're doing that movie, Avatar: Last Airbender. They're doing that movie where the characters are now.
The live action TV show.
There's live action TV show, and then they're also doing a animated movie where all the characters are adults. So I think it's cool. I mean, I think you got to be careful though, because you can age it out, into a new age group, and I think you can really easily lose what made whatever you're doing special, and so it's got to be a weird balance where you still have to maintain the heart of the show, which I feel like a lot of shows, like the heart of it comes from it's big for kids.
Yeah.
Like Avatar, like it's a popular show among adults and kids, and I think the reason it's such a charming show is because it has a lot of kid energy. If you try to age it out and you lose that, you lose what makes that show so special.
I could see that. Did you like the first book, like the journal?
Journal number 3 is an amazing book. It was so cool to read as a Gravity Falls fan.
It was really cool.
I was really upset though because only certain people got the they only made so many blacklight copies.
There were blacklight copies?
Yeah, but they were like limited. Like it was so. There was a thing after the show ended. Alex Hirsch did this really fun nationwide scavenger hunt where people could try to look for the Cypher statue and left clues over on the internet.
Yeah.
And if you the people that found it early on got exclusive copies of Blacklight.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, so
it's gotta be hard to read, or just hurt your eyes with the constant black light trying to read that entire thing.
Yeah. It's cool though, because I remember I got my copy. It's like I wonder, and then I was like, oh,
yeah. That's sad.
No, but that's.
I don't
exciting.
think I've tried it on mine.
Probably doesn't work.
Probably not.
Mine's actually busted. Like it's like all the pages have fallen out of the spine.
It's what it's supposed to do. It's what happened in the show.
Yeah. So. Well, no, it's just a faulty
I
product.
know.
Wait.
Just blame it on the canon.
Oh no, it's meant to do that. It's like, okay. Probably Disney's excuse.
Yeah, probably.
No, that's a very exciting, and I think other properties have done that. I think iCarly, didn't they try to do an
What?
adult TV show?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
They did, which
They
I heard
didn't-
was like
they
5.
didn't even have. Well, they canceled it after 2 seasons.
yeah.
They didn't have the second main character.
Oh, they
whatever
didn't?
her name was.
That wouldn't work.
Yeah, so it was literally just Carly and the other, her brother Spencer, and what is his name? The friend that's the boy, and his mom was like super strict.
Is that the guy with the ostrich?
What? No, I think that was.
Is that iCarly? No. What's the one with the meme where the guy's feeding not an ostrich? What is it? What is he feeding? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
I think it's iCarly, but it's a meme, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And the
probably
guy's
Spencer.
that's probably Spencer. I don't know. I never watched that.
I
show,
love
so.
that show. That was a great show. Sam was the girl that wasn't in it.
Okay,
She was the
right.
blonde one.
Because then she's spun off into Sam and Cat. I know
Yeah.
that. See, I'm learning. I'm remembering where the dots connect.
And I think there was like a Victoria crossover. And I don't.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Nickelodeon and Disney Channel shows, live action sitcoms were a weird era.
Hey, yes.
We could do a whole episode on those.
We could.
Anyway, but no, very exciting. We're very excited to see what Alex Hirsch does with this, and it's always great when he's at the helm of these. He wrote all of Lost Legends, which was the 4-part like graphic novel short stories he wrote in Gravity Falls, and they were all amazing. So I'm excited to see what he does with the Bill Cipher stuff.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Anyways.
Anyway,
what's our next topic?
Next topic. The Day Before went from one of the most wish-listed games on
yeah.
Steam to one of the worst releases of all time that has resulted in developers' fantastic's closure. Is that how you pronounce it?
No.
It's weirdly
idea.
spelled.
Doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah,
They're closed.
doesn't matter. What does this story say to the rest of the industry? So,
oh my goodness. No, this is
one of the
wild.
craziest stories I think I've seen ever. So Day Before was anticipated for how many years? A few years,
don't
right?
know.
They were promoting this game.
Yeah, I've never heard about it until now.
Oh, really?
Heard about it. But no, I think this is the inevitable kind of cause of there's been a trend ever since internet has become mainstream, like Wi-Fi has become mainstream, to where game developers can release this not fully patched, not fully finished game and just patch it later.
Yes.
Like just to get it released.
I don't
so,
think
like,
even like this is because
just building more and more like we see cyberpunk, right? So
but I don't think this was
unfinished.
even that. Like I don't think this was even like, oh, it's an unfinished game. I think just the inherent design of the game was terrible.
I hope it shows like to the rest of the gaming industry like this can't be a thing where like we gotta actually do work.
IGN gave it a 1 out of 10.
Which is
Unbearable. The Day Before is easily one of the worst games I've ever played, to the point where I'm afraid to continue running it on my PC. Like, it was, and I think it's one of those things where it was an open world online zombie shooter.
Yeah.
All right. And this is one of those things where you can't just make an open world game and expect it to be good.
yeah.
It's one of in open world games need to figure out how to make it interesting.
Breath of the Wild would fix that.
But like, here's my thing. Starfield is a perfect example. Day Before is a perfect example. A lot of these games, like Day Before and Starfield's a better game, obviously. Day Before was worse. You're just walking around where these like empty areas and you're just looting, and then you occasionally fight some stuff.
Yeah.
That's terrible game design.
It is horrible.
Inherently. So why is like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, why are those fun games to explore? Because it has a fun method of traversal.
Well, yeah, that, but also Spider-Man had a problem towards like go to this location to be able to like continue something, right?
Yes.
Instead of just finding it yourself. Whereas Breath of the Wild, you had,
Yes.
which it's a lot easier. Like I can understand it would be harder to do in Spider-Man, but Breath of the Wild is a lot easier because you had these like crazy looking like shrine things that looked
Yes.
nothing, that looked so out of place. That was like, I'm gonna go there. That
Yes.
looks interesting. Which is why Breath of the Wild is so important to the open world, because that changed it forever. Saying like, you have to come find these things to be able to do it. Instead, we're gonna tell you where it is, and then
Yes, and there's still waypoints in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
You could turn them off, and you don't really need them. Like
yeah,
you could naturally I mean, there's a lot of points when you're playing Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom where you're walking around and you see something, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go there. You don't even have a waypoint. Turns out you're advancing the main story.
Yeah.
Like, and you just didn't realize it. So, but I think Breath of the Wild, they spread their content out. Other open world games, they put stuff interesting in between your way to a location. Like No Man's Sky, it's these cool areas. Like Day Before is a perfect example of just like, yeah, I get what they were going for. Kind of like, oh, it's an apocalyptic world, so it's empty and barren. That's cool. That's not fun,
Yeah.
It can be cool, but it's not fun to play. And I feel like that's what people need to remember is people play games because they are fun to play, not because you've created. At the end of the day, that's why people play them.
yeah,
It's fun to play. Like even Last of Us, it could be this amazing story, but at a certain point, it wouldn't be as popular if it wasn't backed up by some pretty solid third-person shooting.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because I think it works great as a third-person shooter. It's not like amazing, but it's still a fun thing to do.
as they canceled the multiplayer this previous week, but yeah, it's such a wild story.
And also, I think it shows new developers like if you could see that your game that you were making isn't going in the right direction, don't be afraid to cancel it.
yeah, or completely like Metro Prime 4. Great example. They've redone it probably so many times at this point. I don't know.
We have no idea what happened to Metro Prime 4 because Nintendo decided we're starting from scratch. And, we don't even know if this is a game that's still getting made because Nintendo understands, it's not worth it to put out it's more worth it to not put out a product than to put out a faulty product.
Yeah.
So I feel like Fantastic, if I'm pronouncing their name right, whatever, I feel like they should have at a certain point looked at the development of Day Before and said, do we want to release this? Is this fun? And at a certain point, I think you get to, well, we've created all this hype and, people are really excited for this. So maybe if we just try harder, we can get it to work. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's not how it works. There has to, if there's an inherent flaw in your game, there's nothing you can do to fix that.
Man, it was, and the fact that the entire publisher or whatever they're called,
studio
is
fantastic.
Completely closed.
Everyone's gotten
because of
refunds.
it.
I saw a Steam review. I was just curious looking at this, researching it. Someone said the fact that Steam has allowed people to get refunds no matter the time played, because usually they have a policy of
2 hours.
Like 2 hours. If you played it more than 2 hours, you can't get a refund. Steam and Valve have totally ignored that rule for Day Before because they understand how bad of a game that is. They're saying anyone could get refunds for this because the publisher is letting everyone get refunds. I mean, it's truly
that is
horrible situation. And I remember it was, I think this year, way earlier this year, they did release a gameplay trailer. And even when that came out, everyone was like, you just showed 30 minutes of a character who shot maybe 5 zombies in the course of 30 minutes of gameplay. Like,
that's funny. Yeah,
it was really sad to see. Yeah,
that's wild, man.
No,
I think it's probably one of the craziest stories
gonna
in
be one of
gaming
the craziest
history,
stories.
like past
Yeah.
10 years. Like, if you thought like Cyberpunk was bad,
yeah, and Cyberpunk though was able to
it was still like
salvage. It was
Yeah.
salvageable.
Yeah.
Day Before
They're
was
making money now.
so like because Cyberpunk was like glitchy and super buggy. It still made a ton of money. Like it was still like people were like, oh, I'm sure this will be good eventually. People saw Day Before and said, I'm never playing this game again.
Yeah, so bad. That's horrible. I kind of want to get. Well, can you even get it
No,
anymore?
Steam. That's another thing. They've pulled it from storefronts. Like that.
And they were charging how much? $70 probably.
I think it was like a full game. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a mess. So, don't do game industry. Don't do what Day Before did.
I think you're just gonna say. I thought you were just gonna say, don't do game industry.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That's all we have to say. All right. Well,
that leads us to
our main
topic
we wanted to talk about.
Game Awards.
The Game Awards.
Yeah. Do you
I
want to
got all
read
their-
out the the
Yeah,
winners.
so
of
I got all the
awards.
winners and announcements here because we wanted to talk about them. The big one, which was no surprise, Game of the Year was in fact Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of surprise. I wouldn't say not a ton of surprise. I do think it would have been a surprise if it was anyone else besides Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah.
or Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
Which I still think, Game Awards, it's still a big deal. It is just one of the many publications and groups that ranks them. Tears of the Kingdom actually made IGN's best of 2023 list over Baldur's Gate 3.
Who did IGN put as the game of the year for them?
That's what I just said. Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, you said made the list. Sorry, I thought you.
I said they made the list of best over Baldur's Gate 3,
Oh,
which was a
okay,
surprise. And then Alan Wake 2 came home with 3 awards.
Yeah.
Which I think
I started it so good.
of the three they won, they were the most deserved. It was best narrative because it's Remedy. They know how to handle narrative. Best game direction, of course, because Sam Lake is amazing. And art direction, which
Which
is
I
cool.
was kind of surprised of. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom, it's got that really cool art. and
Yeah.
stuff.
I just think
Who else is nominated for that award? Do you know?
who else is art
Art
direction?
direction, yeah.
I could pull it up. Hi-Fi Rush makes sense. Lies of P, Tears of the Kingdom, and then Mario Bros. Wonder.
Wonder.
Which Wonder had a really
Had
cool art
really
direction with
cool.
the more. It kind of felt like a modernized version of the Mario Brothers 3 art, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 won scored music, which was pretty surprising, I think.
Yeah.
And like Final Fantasy music is always amazing. Don't get me wrong.
I'd never listened to it.
It's just we talked about it. It sounds very much like the same soundtrack every game. Where like a Hi-Fi Rush did this cool thing with like garage rock, and Tears of the Kingdom had Zelda musics.
Yeah. The only thing with like the Zelda music is really good. It's very subtle, which is
Yes.
good because that's what it
Yeah.
fits. So it's not like
Yeah.
this amazing soundtrack. Like the
And-
main theme
yeah.
for the trailer is really good.
But Remedy like reached out for like these up and coming underground artists to write songs for Alan Wake.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm surprised they didn't win because that was a cool. So every time you end a chapter in Alan Wake 2, it plays an original
Yeah.
song, which is really cool.
Should I watch through the entire thing?
I've kind of been skipping. I've
I
listened to
skipped.
this. I like them.
I've listened to like half of it, at least for the first one.
Cyberpunk won best ongoing game, which I think was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was very much a big moment for them to say, "Hey, we made it." Like it's been a long time coming, but that was a big deal. Sea of Stars won best indie game. Pizza Tower, I talked about this, did not win anything, which I think is such a crime.
Yeah.
I mean-
I still haven't played it, but
I don't get it. I really don't get it. The fact that it wasn't even nominated for best indie game and it didn't win either best indie game or best debut indie game. It was one of the best 2D platformers of all time. Had a banger soundtrack and a really cool art direction. And it was like the studio's first game, and they spent 10 years on it basically.
10 years.
Like I don't think it was 10, but they
Okay,
spent
that's-
like years on it. Like it was a long time
Yeah.
of slow development to make sure it was like perfect.
But if we want to talk about games not winning, got to talk about
Yes,
Spider-Man.
We do have to talk about
That
Spider-Man
is
2 not
wild.
winning anything.
They got 6, 7 nominations. I think it was 7.
Yeah.
7 nominations. Didn't win a single award.
But I mean, that just shows you, and we talked about this, that shows you
How good of a
how
year.
good of a year it is if a game like Spider-Man 2 can't win anything. Because in any other year, that's a goatee.
What one sound design?
That was Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, okay.
Because it
That
was
makes sense, yeah.
it was really good. Hi-Fi Rush, I'm glad won an award because it was a really, really. I always forget I played it this year, and then I remember I'll be like, "Oh, it was such a fun game."
Yeah.
Just a really cool. I'm surprised it didn't get nominated for art direction, or did it? Did I say it
did,
won?
yeah.
It did. Okay. It would have been cool if it had won because it's a really cool. Art is cool.
You were talking about how Hi-Fi Rush had the thing to where they, what was it called? Where they switched the music to uncopyrighted music.
Oh,
for the
yes.
strips. Spider-Man has the same thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If you're streaming it. And then I think they did that with Guardians of the Galaxy because they had like Star
Oh,
Wars
yeah.
mixtape they switched
Yeah.
they made. And then Zelda won Best Action Adventure, which I'm glad it won something. If it wasn't gonna win Game of the Year, at least it won. I'm really sorry, my nose is stopped up, so I'm struggling to breathe here. But I'm glad it won Action Adventure because it definitely deserved that. I mean, it's weird to call it action adventure. Like I guess that's what it is, but Tears of the Kingdom is so much more than that. I feel like.
Very much so. Is there a puzzle award for Game Awards?
See, they have like the weirdest, like because they can't go through so many. I wish
Categories.
Jeff would expand and diversify the categories.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he has to put like RPG, action adventure, like the fact that there's not a best horror genre, and so like Alan Wake 2 is getting
not?
thrown into the action adventure genre
Oh wow.
is weird.
That is weird.
So I feel like they have these very broad genres which prevent I feel like everyone from having a good chance at winning in their field. So Baldur's Gate 3 won best RPG. No surprise there.
Of course. Well, how many did they win?
I want to say, I don't know, but they won a lot of
7,
awards. I mean,
6.
Jeff said Baldur's Gate 3 is the big winner tonight every time. I think by like the 4th award. They won like 3 straight at one point, and it was like, man,
crazy. You want to talk about the guest appearances? Because that was kind of crazy.
Who was the guest appearance?
Jordan Peele.
Oh, we'll get to the announcements, but we can talk about that. Jordan Peele was there.
Anthony Mackie,
Timothy
Timothy Chalamet, Matthew McConaughey.
Where is he there for?
He was there at the beginning, like the very
Is
beginning.
he in a new game or something?
Yeah, he's in this new like space game that looks better than Starfield.
Oh, oof.
So.
And then CB Lee is there.
Yeah, he was there. Who else was there?
Those are all the esports things. We don't care about that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got most anticipated game. No surprise there. People love the remake project.
What is it?
It is the second installment in the Final Fantasy VII remake project.
Oh, okay.
So, the first game they did, Final Fantasy VII remake. It's just a third of the game, the original game. So Rebirth is, I think, like the next third, and they're gonna do a trilogy.
Yeah.
So, it beat out Hades 2, surprisingly, and Tekken 8. And then the new Like a Dragon. And then Star Wars Outlaws. But I don't think Star Wars Outlaws is going to be good.
It could be good.
It could be, but Ubisoft.
Yeah, it is Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Never a good name. Anyway,
No.
those were all the big wins. Not a lot of surprises there. I mean...
It all makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great year. And so it was really great to see all these games get recognized that deserve recognition.
I do want to talk about how they're cutting the winners off with such a short speech
That was
time.
really bad.
Like 30 seconds is all they get, basically.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
they're
y'all
just
heard
kicked
about
off
this.
the stage by music.
Yeah.
It's,
Winners got played off after 30 seconds with the timer. And understandably, and Jeff, I think, even announced we'll give them more time next year. That was pretty bad. Overreacting to last year's acceptance speech by Christopher Judge.
Yeah.
Christopher Judge's 7-minute acceptance speech for best performance.
7 minute 59
So they were like,
seconds.
okay, we got to police this somehow. And then they were like, 30 seconds.
The best thing that came out of that, though, was when he was presenting the first award this year. He goes... He starts talking about his speech, or he starts talking, but then they start playing music trying to kick him off.
And he's
as
like,
a joke. He's like,
around,
oh,
he goes,
no, don't do that again. It's like, fun fact about my speech last year. My 8-minute speech was longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign. And Activision's there.
Yeah, like the Activision people are there.
Oh, it's so funny. It's like, that's another company that I'm not working for.
Oh, hold on. I missed the... I had all the announcements pulled up. I'm sorry, guys.
How dare you? It was a good show, though.
There you go. It was a great show. And, as always, they had really great announcements. And I really think Jeff has gotten to the point where he is the next E3, especially considering
E3 is officially canceled. Yeah, forever.
So,
sadly. But it makes sense.
New Monster Hunter was a big deal, which I've never played the Monster Hunters. I don't get the big deal behind the Monster Hunters. People love them.
Yeah.
And, I get it.
What was the game was that Monster Hunter that collabed with Apex?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of Monster Hunter stuff. They did a new mobile game, too, that's kind of like Pokemon Go. But I get it. Like, it's cool. You get to fight a giant monster with a giant sword. So I get the appeal.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, okay. Yeah. And then, of course, we talked about it. Hideo Kojima finally revealed his Xbox project, which is weird. Absolutely
it's Xbox.
Terrifying.
I mean, yeah, they just show 2 faces and that's about it. So
3 faces.
3 faces.
It's like, but it looks like everything. It looks like the most Kojima project ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's working with Jordan Peele
is pretty crazy.
gonna be amazing.
And it's Unreal Engine 5. That was MetaHumans right there.
Really?
Yeah, it says.
No, those
MetaHuman.
are. I mean, those are actors. It's motion capture on those people.
Well, it's using the MetaHuman technology
Okay.
through Unreal Engine 5.
But it's gonna be really cool.
Because
So
at like the end of it, it said like
yeah,
MetaHuman.
I'm sure. Yeah, they'll use MetaHuman.
But
But
Unreal
it's.
Engine 5 looking crazy.
I mean, a lot of people have talked about. It's called OD. People are like very similar to the
PT.
name of PT, which was his original horror project he was going to do with Konami, and people have noticed a lot of similarities. So people are wondering, is this just Kojima's idea for PT now in a new form, which would be really exciting considering people consider PT to be the scariest,
like one of the
game ever made,
greatest, yeah.
like one of the greatest horror experiences ever.
was
And
wild.
so if we just get PT with a collab for Jordan Peele,
I'm shocked it's not on PlayStation.
I get it though. I mean, he wanted to work with Xbox, wanted to work with him. I think Xbox is going to benefit from having a Kojima
100%.
exclusive.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
Because originally PT was a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. Well,
no.
it was Konami, and so I think Konami had a close relationship with. I mean, Kojima has always had a close relationship with PlayStation because Konami has with the Metal Gear Solid games.
Yeah.
And once he was fired from Konami and he went off on his own, he felt like he could shop around, which good for him.
Did he get fired or did he leave?
He got fired.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not a good. If y'all don't know that story, Kojima after making like an amazing game with Metal Gear Solid 5, and after PT got canceled, they fired him because he was going over budget and basically just ignoring their request. Despite I think Metal Gear Solid 5 selling like 50 million copies or something, like and winning an award at the Game Awards. He was fired and was not allowed to accept any awards.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not a good. And then he went and made Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And then became like critically
Which
acclaimed.
did you hear about that?
Oh, A24 is doing the
Doing a
Death
Death
Stranding,
Stranding
movie,
movie.
which is going to be good.
Why do I feel like Brad Pitt needs to play him? He looks very similar.
Or you could, it's not going to be like a direct adaptation,
Oh,
he said.
okay.
And they could always just get the actor that plays.
Who's directing it?
I don't know yet. I'm sure they're very early in development. and haven't
If it's
picked up.
Jordan Peele directing it, that'd be.
Yeah. The God of War Ragnarok got like a roguelike DLC, which looks very exciting. I'm still playing through the main story, so I haven't gotten to that yet, but that will be exciting.
That looks really cool.
The Arcane's Blade looks really good.
Yes.
I mean, we only got a cinematic, but I mean, Arcane, the way they designed Deathloop,
Yeah.
I
and
think
Dishonored.
will work well with Blade's
Very
kind
well
of
with
character
Blade.
and combat. So
Very
that'll
like
be very exciting.
this
to
like
see.
fast paced but yet stealthy at the same
Yes.
style,
So
same time.
That'll be really good.
It's-
Sega kind of just dropped. I think that was the biggest one, even though it was like 30 seconds. Sega announced a new Jet Set radio. I think I remember this. Golden Axe, Crazy Taxi. What were the other ones? Shinobi, and I'm gonna remember it. It was Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, Shinobi, a bunch of like legacy franchises. Basically, they're resurrecting them, which is a big deal. And they just
I only
announced
know
like
Crazy Taxi.
5 games all at
Yeah.
once. And they were like, oh yeah, these are all in development, which kind of a big like mic drop from Sega in the middle of the
Yeah.
show. Streets of Rage. They're getting like a third person beat 'em up.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're getting a beat 'em up, a hack and slash. Jet Set Radio is like a weird parkour platformer. So
Interesting. I barely know any of Sega games.
yeah. No Man's Sky developer showed off Light No Fire, which I think looks
Is that a
very
DLC?
promising. No, it's
It's a new game. Ooh.
So it is, No Man's Sky is all about like
It
this
was-
massive universe.
It was a bad game when it came out.
Yes, it is
But
now
it has
amazing.
gotten so much better.
I'm actually
It is
trying to get
wild.
it for Christmas, so
Oh, nice.
I'm probably gonna start playing it. But Light No Fire, they're focusing on one procedurally generated, Earth, and so it's more fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
and so, oh gosh, it looks really good. The trailer they showed off, it was all in game. It looked really promising. You can ride dragons around, and there's like they
Oh.
described it at the awards. The director it's the first true open world game. He's like he made the joke. He said there are mountains that you can truly climb.
Oh.
If you know that famous line from Todd Howard, see those mountains, you can climb them.
Did No, I don't know.
Well, there's
What's the context?
So when he was showing off Skyrim for the first time, he was showing like some gameplay, and he like said, "See those mountains in the distance? You can climb them." And that's kind of become the tagline for what open world games are about: is see those mountains, you can climb them. And so he kind of made a joke about that it's truly like you can explore anywhere on the map. There's no boundaries, which, once again, very ambitious, very promising. Will it work?
I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. Speaking of Todd Howard, you could see him in the background when like they went past the only award Starfield was nominated for and didn't win. He was so upset. It was so funny.
Yeah. Well, maybe make just a better
game.
A better game. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
What else got announced? I'm looking through. Skull and Bones got a release date, which was very surprising considering how many times it's been delayed. I thought that was just a game that we would never hear about, but they were like, "Oh no, it's coming out."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" Which is I'm not gonna play it.
I don't think it's gonna be
Ubisoft, but sounds promising. If it's good, I might check it out. I love pirates.
I enjoy Sea of Thieves, and I just think that'll be definitively the better game. So I'm just not gonna play it in spite of that.
I just saw this, but Untitled Goose Game developers are just doing
looks
a new
awesome.
first-person
It's
like
so
exploration game.
weird because it's like real, like the landscape and everything
Yeah,
is
but then
really
there's these
realistic,
weird
but then there's these
characters.
like weird duck people. I don't even know
It
how
looks
to
very
describe
promising.
They look like they're out of like Monument Valley. I don't know if you've ever
Yes.
played that mobile game, but they look like the characters out of
Yeah.
that. Very interesting.
What else? I'm looking through here. Square Enix announced a new Mana game, which I know you don't care about. That's a big deal. It's a popular series. What else? I'm looking through, guys. Give me a moment. There's some other good things. Hold on.
Alan Wake 3.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. Come on, man. The finals got announced. They got released during it, so that was a big deal. I remember now. Dead Cells and the Thumper developers are releasing new games. Dead Cells, they're taking a new. It's not
Dead Cells.
It's not Dead Cells, but it's a new. It's a roguelike, but I think
It
it's
looks
more.
cool.
It's like more the Hades style of combat, where
the
it's
art
3D and it's that weird camera angle. And then Thumper's releasing. I think it's supposed to be a sequel called Thrasher. Which have you ever played Thumper?
I have not.
It's this weird like rhythm game where you play as a beetle on like a roller coaster, and this one looks more. It just looks weird, so I'll be interested to see what they do with it. And then we got new look at Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, which both of us are very excited about because we're huge fans of the Arkham series. We were really sad to see it get delayed, and when they showed off that gameplay, everyone was like, "This looks.
Why is there a battle pass?
Why is there battle pass? Why is there live service?" So we're not sure if they're getting rid of that. But,
Hopefully they will. Yeah.
I just realized I'm wearing this sweatshirt. You may have to blur that out the whole time. Anyway,
I'm
don't find that. I'm taking this off.
You get
I was supposed to take this off. I was like, I'm gonna take this off before the episode airs, and then I was looking at, and then I looked down. I was like, oh yeah, I never took it off. Anyway, it should be
if
fine.
you want me to, I can, but I'm sure there's so many schools with Wildcats.
Yeah. Don't.
Plus, we leaked my school's name like 2 episodes ago.
Did we actually?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Just don't. No one will care. We'll just bleep it out when we get
Not
famous.
like we have. Yeah, of
when
course.
we get
When
famous,
we get famous,
we'll
of
burn that
course.
bridge when we get to it.
And in 50 years.
Is there anything else?
It was a good show, though.
Yeah, it was a good
really
show.
enjoyed it.
Really good announcements. I mean, not every announcement's a winner, you know, like a lot of announcements.
I heard this from another YouTuber doing like some video essay on Tears of the Kingdom. Apparently, there's no plans for a Tears of the Kingdom DLC.
Yeah, there isn't. There's not.
That's crazy to me.
I know, which is really sad. And I
still
don't think
yet
it
to beat it,
needs
though.
DLC, but I would have really liked a master mode.
Yeah.
Like the fact they didn't give us a master mode was really disappointing.
I'm sure they'll update
You
it.
know, but Alan Wake 2 has given. I think they gave us a new game plus.
Oh.
Which is exciting. So
Spider-Man 2 does not have a New Game Plus.
it got delayed, didn't it?
I don't know.
I think they're releasing it, but I think it's getting delayed. I think some of the best New Game Plus was Arkham's, where you got every item at the beginning, but it was just you did not get the indicator to counter was the thing. You had to just.
Which I actually just 100%ed Spider-Man 2 this a few days ago.
Yes.
And I was telling my dad this. I was like, yeah, I think I figured out which one I like more between Arkham or Spider-Man.
You like Spider-Man?
Definitely Arkham, actually.
Oh, really? See,
Yeah,
I'm
because,
Arkham. Yeah.
Because I found myself playing through Spider-Man, and with like some new suits, you can feel more like Batman.
Oh,
and I kept trying to like set up to be more Batman. Like, and then I found like this glitch on watching some YouTube videos that you can change it to midnight all the time after you beat the game, because it's supposed to be daytime, like afternoon. When you beat the game forever, you're able to switch it to night, like complete midnight, which makes it feel more like Batman. And I'm like, this is so much cooler.
We've talked about this. I think they're both incredible games, and they both do a really good job of making you feel like Batman or Spider-Man, or like, you know, they control, you know, it's a Batman game, and so they
makes you
center
feel
around
like Spider-Man.
Batman, and then it's a Spider-Man game, and so I think they both do a really good job. I'm just more of a fan of Batman, and I like, you know, when you're in a stealth mission and it's like, you know, oh, you throw a distraction there, and then those two guys go off, and then you pick this one guy off. And
There is.
and I think the AI in the Arkham games holds up insanely well.
Yeah.
Like the way the NPCs and the enemies like walk over here, and they're like, and I don't know, I'm sure it's not actually that complex of a code, but it still holds up the way they like get over here. They kind of talk to each other and then spread out, and they kind of start panicking.
Well, the ones in. Well, do they have? I don't remember. In Arkham, do they like if they stop responding? Do they go over there?
What do you mean?
Like
they
be on
notice
radio.
they're like, yeah, they'll do that where they're like, someone
They
went
have that in
down, and then
Spider-Man
they go
as well,
over there, and like all of them will go over there and be like, oh no, it's the bats, and then they'll all spread out. Which I'm like, that is really good. And then they'll start like shooting the gargoyles and start freaking out.
Which they don't do that in Spider-Man. They always just leave you alone if you're at the top.
And they always added like really great, like they always in the stealth missions in Batman, because that's what I think the one reason Arkham holds up better is, like, I think Spider-Man and Arkham both have great beat 'em up segments, but Spider-Man stealth segments versus Batman stealth segments, Arkham stealth segments are so much better.
100%. You also you're just like in a black suit. You're just like nobody can see me in the shadows. It's so much cooler, and you can throw smoke as well.
I think Spider-Man stealth segments are cool. It's just he's not built for stealth segments.
That's why I prefer to play Miles. Actually, is because you can turn invisible.
Oh yeah, those make it kind of interesting.
It's so much fun. Yeah, because Miles is just the better character to play in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm excited to play it. I haven't gotten to play it yet, but
cool.
very excited.
There's
to
actually
play it too.
So they didn't do this in Arkham Knight. You know how like they introduced Nightwing and some other characters I don't remember.
Robin and
in Arkham Knight. And in Spider-Man, if you're just going around the city, you know, like the random like criminal activities, you can go and like start fighting them, or like you'll go there and they're already fighting someone. You're like, what in the world? You go down there, Miles is already fighting them, or Peter's already fighting them, and you're like, what are you doing here? It's like they have banter between each other.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah,
I wish, you know, I think was it in Arkham City they did a DLC chapter where you got to play as Robin, and then of course you were some missions where you could play as Nightwing. I would love to get a Nightwing video game, or like a Nightwing solo Arkham.
That would be really cool.
But no,
but we got that with Gotham Knights technically, which I never played. Don't want to.
Doesn't look good. Anyway, guys, I think this is gonna be our last episode of the year.
Is it?
So this is the end. I don't think we'll do one before New Year's.
Let me check.
If it is though, actually,
I guess it is.
So
We'll
anyway,
see y'all
the end of our very first
January
year as
2nd.
a channel. Thank you so much for being so supportive.
Yeah.
All the viewers. It's been a great 2023. It's been a great year to start the channel, talking about video games and movies and stuff. Very exciting. Thank you all so much. Thank you for staying till the end of the video. We know we can be a pain to listen to sometimes.
I think this is just the beginning, honestly. I think there's a lot more to come with this channel.
Just the beginning.
I think
All right.
we have a lot more passionate ideas.
Yes, we're very excited.
Remember, stream on Wednesday.
Stream on Wednesday.
6:30 or 7, I don't remember.
6:30 or 7. Check our
6:30.
community post. It'll be around that time.
I'll post a 5-minute warning.
Yes. Thank you so much,
Better be
guys. Subscribe if you want to. Subscribe. Don't if you don't want to. Do whatever you want.
Gotta stop asking them.
I'm not asking them. I'm just saying you can. Anyway, have a great year. Happy holidays and happy New Year's, guys.
See y'all.
See y'all next year.
Bye.
Bye.